Welcome back to From the South. To discuss the presidential elections underway in Chile this Sunday, we now welcome social scientist Elisabet Gerber of the University of Santiago de Chile. Elisabeth, can you hear me? And thank you for joining us.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you. I'm very pleased to talk with you.
Elisabeth, Chileans are faced with a choice between two very different candidates for the president this Sunday. What can you tell us about each of the candidates and what they represent?
Well, it's a great discussion, and many people are talking about polarization. No? But I think there is a trap in stating that Chile is polarized, and that this is a choice between two extremes. Because in the first place, in the first round campaign, in this round, both candidates had to wing towards the center with moderate proposals. But above all, Boric was never from the extreme left. In any European country, Gabriel Boric and the proposal of his sector, his political parties, would be considered social democrats. But we have indeed a new phenomenon, I would say, in Chile, and that's this candidate, this very important representation of the extreme right, of the far right. José Antonio Kast is a candidate of these sectors. Is a far right candidate. This is new, but I won't say that on the other side we have an extreme left candidate.
Elisabeth, that's a very important point that you make there. In other news, Chile's in the process of redrafting its constitution, which is one of the outcomes of the mass mobilizations of 2019. How might this process to redraft the constitution be affected by the result of this Sunday's vote?
Well, it's a great challenge for us to support the Constituent Convention, because it is essential for Chile to support this process that leads to a new constitution. The electorate of Kast, of José Antonio Kast, concentrates those who rejected the constitutional process and oppose clearly a new constitution. That is why we are concerned about taking care of this constituent process that must culminate in next year, in July 2022, with a new constitution. Most of the people, I would say 100% of the people who voted against, who rejected a new constitution, are now voters for, of course, for José Antonio Kast. It is a very important matter for Chile.
Elisabeth, we're seeing the return, or the possible return soon, to power of progressive forces in several different Latin American countries. Beyond Chile, how could today's result impact on the wider region?
Well, first of all, we are not sure what is going to happen now, because polls, are prohibited in the last 15 days in Chile. However, they circulate confidentially, and there were 4 or 5 opinion polls last week which showed a great advantage of Gabriel Boric. And as you said, this could mean a very important progressive progressive reinforcement for the region. I think it's very important because, extreme right expressions are still in the government in countries like Brazil, but we know that Lula has great chances also. So I think for the region is very, very important. I would say most important processes now are the Chilean election and the election in Brazil.
Elisabeth, what can you tell us about the atmosphere there in Chile today as Chileans are voting? We heard that there have been a lack of buses for people to be able to be transported in order to exercise their vote. Have you heard anything about that?
Yes, you're very well, and because I read in for many people which are very active in the campaign and in the social media, that they are reporting a lack of public transport in several communes in Santiago too, and that's of course a way to hinder electoral participation. And what does this have to do with electoral participation? Well, we know that with more political participation will be better for Gabriel Boric, because I would say, in a political analysis, the voters of Kast are male, older people, and those hard voters, which are going to vote anyhow, but with a higher political participation, the candidate which be favored with is Gabriel Boric.
Elisabet Gerber, who's a social scientist.
Volatility this time, a huge electoral volatility. So the right, the extreme right sectors have, of course, are sure if less people are going to vote, and they are sure also with this hard vote.
Elisabet, thank you so much for your time and for bringing us that update, speaking to us from Santiago de Chile. Thank you.
Thank you.